We'll build a secret room right here. A concealed door will blend in perfectly. Now, securing the frame.
First, we camouflage the exterior to blend in. Now it's hidden. The perfect secret base.
This is the secret chamber. No one will find it. Building it into the main structure keeps it completely hidden. The perfect stealth shelter.
The Secret Shelter project presents a massive survival shelter with a hidden interior. This complete build showcases the entrance and a fully equipped, self-sufficient interior.
This will hide us from the scavengers. Perfect. Supplies are stocked.
I'm building a secret living space underground, inside another shelter. I start with a sturdy wooden frame for the hidden room.
The ultimate camouflage shelter build. Secret shelter upgrade, hidden room reveal. Align the panels, no gaps. Copy, securing the brackets, slide it in. Total concealment, locked, it's gone. First, drill the holes for the hidden frame. Now, secure the support beam to the wall. Finally, install the latch and test the door.
Let's build the hidden interior.
I'll weave the camouflage walls.
Perfect, it's transforming.
The secret space is ready.
The most secure secret shelter ever built. Building a secret off-grid shelter from nothing.
Transform this basic shelter into a hidden base. First, camouflage it to blend in. Then, add a secret hatch and storage. Full build of a hidden survival chamber. Secret shelter design with smart camouflage.
First, we dig and frame the shelter. Next, install the hidden entrance and vents. Now build the bunks and stockpile supplies. This disguise panel will be our invisible entry. The latch mechanism is hidden, securing the door. When activated, it swings open to reveal the hidden room. We're building a giant survival shelter with secret compartments. This hidden bunker-style door is key. Perfect for supplies. This is our giant survival shelter. It's a hidden bunker. We're building it with secret compartments. This one opens to store supplies. The secret shelter build starts now. We'll hide it completely in the earth. Perfect camouflage. No one will find it.
We start by digging deep, keeping the entrance concealed, wood for strength, but keeping it low and hidden. Finally, camouflage to stay invisible.
We've dug the pit and set the log walls. Now for the roof. We cover it with leaves and branches. This will be completely invisible.
Digging the foundation for our hidden fortress. Lashing these logs together for stability. The frame is up, now for the roof.
This hidden shelter uses the earth itself for camouflage and insulation. We layer branches and leaves to create a natural, undetectable roof. Finding the perfect spot, now to blend in. Weaving the frame for ultimate concealment. Got to weave these branches tight. Now pack it with leaves for cover. Almost hidden.
Use large leaves and vines for a silent, waterproof roof. Now, secure the frame to the ground with vines.
We'll build a stormproof frame with bamboo. Lash it tight with vines for stability. Now, add the thatch for camouflage. Layering the branches for support. Sealing with moss and ferns. The shelter is secure. Digging the pit for our shelter. Now, reinforcing the walls with branches. Finally, the roof for full cover. Lashing these poles tight for the frame, weaving in vines for camouflage. Now covering with fronds to stay hidden. Using vines for the frame, blends perfectly. This adds camouflage and insulation. Using these logs for the frame. Now, digging to make it earth sheltered. Covering with fronds for insulation. Welcome to the Jungle Isolation Challenge. Today we're building an earth sheltered shelter. We'll use these logs and leaves for insulation. Lashing these poles tight for a strong frame. Now, weaving the thatch to lock out the weather. It's coming together.
Using the jungle to build our shelter. Weaving vines for a strong, hidden frame. Covering it to blend into the canopy.
We're building a flood-resistant shelter. Bamboo roof is layered with palm fronds for waterproofing. This will be our hidden jungle refuge. We're digging the foundation for our natural fortress. Now, vacuums waterproof rooms and insulation. A hidden multi-room shelter. With this axe, we notch the logs for a secure frame. Lash them tight with vines for stability. Now, camouflage it with leaves for stealth.
Pick slightly higher ground to avoid flooding. Stay away from animal trails, ant nests, and falling branches. Use thick branches to create a raised platform between trees or on sturdy supports. This keeps your body off the wet ground. Use thick branches to create a raised platform between trees or on sturdy supports. This keeps your body off the wet ground. Fill the inside with dry leaves, grass, moss, or bark for warmth and comfort. The thicker the layer, the better the insulation. Layer large leaves on top to block rain. Overlap them like roof tiles. Extend the layers around the sides for wind protection. Keeps you dry and warm. Protects from insects and crawling animals. Quick to build with jungle materials. Comfortable sleeping shape. Always use dry materials for bedding. Make a small entrance facing away from wind. If possible, build near a water source but not too close.
Starting with these flexible branches, I'll weave them to build the frame. Now securing with vines, this gives it real strength. Almost done.
Weave vines tightly for a strong hidden frame. Climb up and settle in safely. Building a raised nest bed from jungle materials. Weaving vines for strength, adding leaves for comfort.
In the deep forest, you need a strong, warm nest shelter. Weave vines and branches tightly for a sturdy frame. Line it with leaves and moss for insulation.
Gather sturdy branches and flexible vines from the forest floor. Lash the branches securely to the tree for a stable base. Layer large leaves on top for a soft, comfortable bed.
Gotta weave these tight for the base. Now to climb up and test it.
This nest will keep me warm and dry tonight.
Much better in here. Gather strong branches and vines to build the frame. Weave leaves tightly for insulation and comfort. Elevate it for safety. Weaving the frame for a sturdy and soft canopy nest. Climbing in to test the shelter overnight. We'll build a soft nest for the night. Large leaves first for a waterproof layer. Now for soft grass and moss.
Layer leaves and moss to insulate against the cold. Now, secure it between the trees, safe and dry above the wet ground. Lashing the frame tight for stability. Now for the soft bedding. Finally, a real bed. Lashing the frame tight for stability. Now for the soft bedding. Finally, a real bed. Layering the leaves for insulation and comfort. Up we go. Almost there. Perfect. Time to rest. Gather soft leaves and moss to cushion the nest. Weave them in for a soft, protective layer. Now, climb up and settle in above ground. First, build a low platform with logs to keep off the damp ground. Pile on leaves and branches for a soft mattress. Then add an A-frame roof. Lashing these vines tight for the frame. Now for a thick layer of leaves. Time to test this out. This nest needs to be waterproof and blend in. Perfect. This will keep me dry tonight. I've built this nest for safety. Time to test it. Solid construction. This should keep me safe up here. Lashing these branches for a sturdy elevated base. Adding leaves for comfort and camouflage. Climbing up to test the shelter. Building an elevated nest from leaves and twigs to stay warm overnight. Testing the handmade nest for warmth and protection.
First, we gather branches and vines for the frame. Now, we add moss and leaves for insulation. The nest is ready, safe and insulated. The jungle floor is too dangerous at night. We build an elevated nest. Shelter. This keeps you safe above ground. These leaves will insulate and keep me warm. Moss adds padding and stays dry. My floating nest is ready. Time to test it. First, lash branches between trees for a frame. Line it with leaves and moss for comfort. Now it's ready, safe and hidden. Building a cozy shelter above ground for safety. Testing this nest shelter overnight.
Time to build a safe nest high up.
Layering moss for softness and warmth. Perfect. Safe from the cold.
Weaving these vines tight will make it stable. Covering it with leaves will keep us safe and hidden. Night in the rainforest, this leaf nest is keeping me warm and dry. Layering leaves and vines provides excellent insulation. To stay safe tonight, we'll build a camouflage nest up high. Layering branches and leaves creates a soft, hidden bed. There, safe and comfortable.
I've built this insulated nest to stay dry and warm. The moss keeps it cozy inside. Now to climb in and test it overnight. Gotta pull this vine tight to secure the frame. There, that should hold. Now for the bedding. This storm is brutal. I need this nest done. There, that should hold and stay warm.
This storm's getting violent. I have to finish the floating shelter now. The weave is holding. Climbing up. Safe in the tree nest. I can sleep through this.
The floods are rising fast. I need height and safety. Lashing this bed to the strongest branch. It has to hold. Weaving these leaves makes the shelter rain resistant. Now, to build a warm tree nest before the storm hits. In this storm, I'm building an elevated cocoon. This hanging shelter will keep me dry and safe. This storm nest has to be strong. Weaving the vines tight for the canopy. This should keep us safe.
Vines are set. This bed will float above the danger. There, a warm nest in the canopy, high above the flood.
Weaving these vines into a strong lattice for the frame. Now, layering leaves for weatherproofing the nest. In this monsoon, we need a refuge. This pod will keep us... I'm securing the final lines now. There. High and dry.
In the predator-filled jungle, survival means living elevated, a strong hanging shelter designed to withstand wild weather.
This nest will keep me warm through the storm. Just a bit more weaving to secure it.
This frame is almost ready. Got it. One more knot. This will hold.
Weaving the vines through makes it stormproof. The layered fronds trap heat for a warm refuge.
Layering the thatch for a solid rain block. Weaving the vines makes it waterproof. The hanging bed is ready.
In this storm, I'll build a secure nest for safety. Weaving vines and branches makes it strong. Now, up to the safe zone.
This nest will keep me dry and safe. Time to add some comfort.
Heavy rain challenge, weaving a storm-resistant hanging cocoon. Jungle night defense, crafting a protective canopy nest. It's holding strong.
In a jungle, a suspended shelter is key to staying warm and dry. I'll secure the ropes tightly. This floating refuge is ready. Start by stacking stones for the foundation. Use mud to seal the gaps. This will retain heat in the shelter. These stones will lock in the warmth. Now, seal the gaps with mud. A perfect shelter for the wild. This stone will help trap heat overnight. A mallet taps it securely into place. The shelter is taking shape. We'll stack flat stones for sturdy walls. Insulate with leaves to trap body heat. Camouflage it with branches for maximum warmth.
Natural stone cabin, a survivalist dream shelter. Survival skills, building a windproof stone shelter. And its primitive stone shelter is an engineering marvel for cold survival. Its thick stone walls trap heat, keeping the interior warm. Step 1. Place warm stones for the foundation. Next, layer the stones along the walls. The shelter is now taking shape.
Stack flat stones to build the shelter walls. Insulate with grass and twigs for warmth. Masters warmth without modern tools. For a heat-efficient hut, we use flat stones and insulate with grass. This traps heat, making the shelter comfortable in cold weather. We're building a stone shelter to stay warm. These stones lock together for insulation, a natural, reliable shelter. To build a weatherproof shelter, use local stones and burlap for insulation. Apply mortar between for strong, insulated walls. The fire's low. Need to keep it going. There we go. Much better.
The secret is natural insulation, keeping these stone shelters warm.
This material creates a lasting, comfortable shelter.
Gather stones to build a low, semicircular wall. Inside, create a fire pit with dry wood. The stones will contain the fire safely.
Using only stones and branches, we're building a perfect shelter. Stack them securely for a strong, natural structure. We start by choosing a solid base stone. Each stone adds strength and locks in warmth. A tight fit is key.
Start to finish, we gather and stack these stones, building a wall for strength and warmth. A primitive craft using nature's materials.
Lifting this stone into place. A bit more adjusting here. It's really coming together. First, select a solid base stone. Place it firmly on the wall. Now, add branches for the roof. This stone shelter uses thick walls for heat retention. We pack natural insulation into every gap. This traps warmth inside. We're building a hidden stone shelter, underground style.
Each stone adds strength and warmth.
This is survival comfort.
This rock shelter traps heat naturally. Here, a stone cabin is built without tools. Nature engineering.
Building these stone walls to trap heat for the night. Now, I'll secure these branches for the roof.
The Rock Shelter Project, built to withstand storms. Please subscribe to my channel. Thanks.
These flat stones will lock together tightly. I'm stacking them to make a storm-proof wall. This will be a solid hideout.
This rock shelter traps heat naturally. Here, a stone cabin is built without tools. Nature engineering.
Finding these fallen stones is key. Now to stack them for shelter. A firm base, then fill the gaps. Stability first. It's rough, but it'll hold up. Building these stone walls to trap heat for the night. Now, I'll secure these branches for the roof.
Gather stones from the earth. Stack them to form walls. Ignite a fire within. Deep Nature Build Solid Stone Protection Shelter. Rainproof Survival Natural Rock Wall Shelter. In the biting cold, we build a heat-holding stone house. Stack the stones firmly, creating thick walls. Seal the gaps to trap the fire's warmth. Forest Engineering Long-Term Rock Survival Cabin. Nature Living Permanent Stone Shelter System.
These stones will lock together tight. The cordage reinforces every joint, solid as bedrock, defying any storm.
Behold the rock cabin, built without modern tools. Its heat-saving rock structure stores warmth from a fire.
This stone shelter provides year-round protection. The thick walls regulate temperature and keep us safe. Welcome to the rock shelter system. We start with a stone foundation, built to last. This base is the cornerstone for a shelter that endures.
This rock shelter will be a solid home. Now for the thatch roof.
Purebred Bushcraft.
Natural Rock Fortress, Wilderness Survival Base. Heavy stone shelter, built for endurance.
Welcome to my solo survival shelter. It's a permanent rock cabin built without tools. The rocks interlock for stability. This rock is heavy, but it will make the wall stronger. There, built to last against nature. We're building with raw stone for a durable shelter. Each stone is carefully fitted for stability. Now, we lash it all together, laying the foundation for this rock fortress. Each layer adds strength, solid as a fortress. This is the rock home I built, right in the heart of the camp. Every stone was placed by hand, blending with the forest.
The Rock Shelter Project, built to withstand storms. Please subscribe to my channel. Thanks.